Release the Kraken!
Good afternoon, fellow game designers. Ron here with Lame Duck Studios. In our last tutorial, we went ahead and made our door and everything. In this tutorial, we're going to look at how to do custom events. So what are custom events? Well, everything inside of Unreal, as far as the blueprints are concerned, are driven through events. So if we open up our door blueprint here, you can see that I have these little red things, right? These are events. If I were to create a key, let's say I hit, spacebar, right? And I just drop that in. You can see the spacebar is also a little red event, right? These little things are the things that make the rest of this stuff work, right? Now you'll notice that on events, they don't have an input, but they do have an output. Anything that is not an event will have both, right? Okay. But we have the ability to create a custom event to drive pieces of our code. So I'm going to go ahead and right click. I'm going to type in custom event. You can say get the option to add custom event. I'm going to call this open door event. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to, instead of using my overlaps, and actually before I start tearing this up, let's go ahead and just duplicate our door. So I have my door BP here. I'm going to go ahead and right click. I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to call this door BP. This is going to be event. So that we know that this is the one that's using the event call. So open that one up. Hey. So for this one, we're going to get rid of, go to the viewport, we're not going to use this overlap anymore. We're going to use something else. Let's go ahead and go back in here. And now we're going to get rid of our overlaps. And I'm going to plug in my doors event. So whenever this thing fires, it's going to trigger this stuff, right? But how do we get this to fire? Well, this is going to fire from a function node that is called from this event. So let's go ahead and compile. Let's make another object that we can call that event from. So let's say in here, I got those doors. I'm going to add this door to the scene. And you can see this one does not have the overlapping boundary. So I'm going to go ahead and just line this up wherever I like. They're right in front of there. That's cool. Maybe this door behaves differently. Maybe this one's a slider. Let me grab that, and I'll use this. I'll slide it that way. But what am I going to use to drive the door? Let's make a button. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click, Blueprint class, Add Actor. I'm going to call this button. We'll say door button, and I'll do underscore event because I'm going to use this one for the event. Double click on that. Let's make a very quick button. Let's add in a cube. Size this up so it's kind of button-like. Little pillar. I'm going to add a cylinder. So cylinder. Oh, there it is. It's going to come in as a child of the button. That's fine. Or of the cube. Size it up, move it into position. And if you don't like the snaps, you can always turn the snaps off. I'm going to hit this little arrow right here. That'll turn off the scale snap. So I can just kind of scale this the way I want. And then I'll turn off the snap here. That's my move snap. So I can just kind of move this wherever. Sorry for that beeping. That was my power supply dying. Anyway, so we are back. We're going to add a color to this because buttons are always cooler when you have a color. So let's go ahead and right click. Let's add a material. We'll call this whatever. Just name it a color. So I'll call this red. I'll open that. On the base color, just do a vector parameter. So vector parameter. Call that color. And then for my red, I'm just going to go down to the R channel here. Hit 1. Hit enter. And then OK. You know, they say never press the red button. Make sure you hit the apply and then save. Let's go back to our door. I have so many up here, right? Which one? Door button. Okay, and now we're going to add our color. Sure, you can see I've done this a few times. Compile. So now I have a button with a color on it. And then, like we did before, we're going to add an overlap. So we'll do box collision. And that should pop in. I don't want this to be a child of my button. let's just go ahead and drag this up and look for drop here to see available actions. We'll do attach. I'm going to size that up. Cool. Good enough. Compile it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the overlap. So I don't need this. So I don't need the tick. And then off of my event overlap here, I'm going to drag off. And I'll just say open door. And you see that our open door does not pop in, right? But if I uncheck context sensitivity, we get our open door event. You see I have a bunch of these in here for different things. But my open door event, right? And there it is. So whenever I hit this, it's going to open the door. But you might notice there's a problem. Let's go ahead and try it. Ooh, look at that. That error. It says the blueprint self. So self is pointing to self here, which is the door button event. It says the door self is not the door, right? So we need a reference to our door. We can get a reference. It's pretty easy. Let's go ahead and drag off of our begin play. And we're going to do get all actors of class. Drag that in. And then let's set our door. So I'll do door. You see I have a bunch. I'll do my door BP event. And then from there, let's just go ahead and do a get. Copy. And then from there, let's go ahead and do a promote to variable. And we can use this just like that. But let's go ahead and just run this through. Let's go ahead and name this. We'll call that door reference. So just door ref. And I can drag in my door ref. Get it. Do a quick compile. And now I'm going to go ahead and set this to here. Now it says I can't do that. But watch this. If I drag this off and I type in door and I get my open door event, it'll pop in with a reference. So let's go ahead and delete the other one. We'll add this one. Now this does only get one instance of the door. So whenever I make copies of this, this is only going to be good for one door and one button. But we're going to see how to deal with that. So now I'm going to drag my button in. So I'll put the button right there. And my button does have a problem with it sinking into the ground because it's where the location of the widget is, but that's not that big of a deal. Right now, if I walk over to the button, well, the door does some weird stuff. The door is sinking because it's going back to its 0 position. So what I can do, you can see how that my door position in the world is like 130 in the Z. I'm actually going to go into my door event, grab my start location, and you can see if I want to do like a sideways door, I do have to match the height here. So my height in Z is 110. I'm just going to make sure that on my end location, that my ending location Z, in this case, is also 110. So now if I hit this, it should go straight across. Now we don't have this where it's fully firing, but you can see that it started. So if I hit it again, it goes to there, right? So what it's doing, you can see how it's like kind of lagging. What's happening is I'm hitting the event, and it's actually traveling all the way over to here. And then when it's finishing, it then comes back. So let's do this. Let's go back into our door, this one. Go into the timeline. And let's do use last keyframe. Now if I go over it and hit it, it goes there. And if I hit it again, it should go back. So now I can hit the button. I can go up to this door. And then I can walk away. And then it goes down. Now you also notice that these doors, because we did not use last keyframe on them, that there is a slight delay on the when I walk away from it. So let's go back to that one. And I'll also get the timeline. And then use last keyframe there. Cool. So there you have it. There's a very simple way of setting up a event to talk to the button on the door. And the next one we're going to look at custom events using the event dispatcher. Alright, so stay tuned. If you like what you've seen in here, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and of course, leave some comments so I know what to make in the future. And I will see you next time.